Hey, what's good? What's good? We're back. This is part two. Don't forget, if you are just tuning in right now, just boop, clicking in this joint. The name of this story is God's One Mistake, and this is part two, so that you wouldn't be fully confused and be like, "What the fuck was going on? What's this motherfucker talking about?" You need to go ahead down below. You'll find my page. Go on there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and find God's One Mistake Part 1 so that you can start with that one so that you can know what's going on. So for those who's just following with Part 2 right now, I'm going to just go ahead and just jump in and give you a fresh reminder. No cupcaking, no blah blah. Check out Part 1 to find out all the sweetness stuff that I usually say in the beginning of the video. Now let's just go ahead and jump in. Main character name is Jocelyn Nundy. Sorry. Jocelyn Nundy. And where we left off, from what I remember, we left off where God was talking to his son, reminding him of why every humans don't have superpowers or psychic abilities and stuff like that. Well, most of us could actually answer that, and which I've already did, which is his main answer, to skip over real quick to move on, was humans very greedy. They like stepping on the other person's neck who they feel like is weaker than them, and a lot of people would end up dying. It'd be too much for the world right now, but in due time they'll learn doing that kind of thing it's not good, even though some of us, side note, knows that is happening right now. Anyways, to move on from when God done giving his son this explanation, let's go ahead and go back down to earth to see what's happening with Jess, and to see what's going on with Jess. So at this point, a couple years had passed already, and she decided to move to New York and everything and try to see what she can start there. But to be honest, let's rewind. You'll get to see what she really thinking about doing in New York, so that you'd be like, what the fuck, when did this? So in those little years, like I said before in part 1, in those little years, she was practicing and everything, moving objects, pulling objects, picking up stuff, like what is this, what the hell? And she could sense stuff. She can't really hear it, but she could kind of feel the vibration, and she can feel the vibration of someone talking. And she can't really pick it up yet of what is going on, but she can feel someone is talking from, like, let's say half a mile away. Yeah, pretty far. When she really, really like sit down, meditates and focus, and it takes a lot of her energy to actually pick up senses and people's talking vibration that far. Now, obviously, she doesn't have a job anymore. She's thinking of what she needs to do. Bank account's running dry, and she was just in a bus stop, just waiting and shit. And she looked over in the corner. She saw this grown motherfucker sold this kid, probably like what, 14, 15 maybe, some drugs. She knows what's going on in that corner. And she saw this kid scared out of his mind, shaking like a motherfucker, taking a little packet. Like, she didn't see it, but you know the move, you know what I mean? If you know the move, the handshake, whatever, you know it. She's like, man, poor little boy. He's about to, So she's, of course, still kind of angry of what happened to her. All the stuff that's been happening to her. She's still a little angry. She's like, man, fuck this. The bus was coming up. The bus, she waved the bus. She waved the bus back. The bus kept going. And she walked up to him. She's like, hey, look, I need a big quantity from you. You want to step over here real quick? She had like a big old jacket on, had a hoodie. Again, side note, for those of you who don't know, most women don't ever really look, well, to me, at least, they don't never really look threatening. She doesn't look like a threatening person. She looks clean. She just had a brown hoodie with like fur on it or something like that because it was a little chilly and whatnot. So she didn't look threatening like you would be like, I should be suspicious of this bitch type of shit. No, she didn't look no threatening like that. Now move on. Side note ended. So she gave him the head nod. I need a bigger quantity from you. Can we step over here? And she had like 500. That's her last 500. Show it to him real quick so he kind of follow. Sorry. As he's like doing his count to give it to her, she looked left, looked right, and moved her hand, hit her with like for him it feels like a brick that she just hit his ass with, and he's unconscious on the ground, ran in the ground, fucking robbed them of the money, chase after the little boy, stop them, be like, hey, look, I know you just took up a packet from this dude. Here is your money. Give me that fucking packet back. You're too young to be doing what I know what this guy is selling. It's not I just robbed them and he didn't have no weed on him, so I know what you got on. Give me that shit before you go kill your little brother or other other people's kids if you don't give a shit about yours. And of course, the kids, trying to buff up, refusing and shit. He's like, look, she started dialing 911. I'm going to follow you. Where are you going to go? I'm going to follow you and chase you and call the cops until the cops find both of us. So what you going to do? You going to just get your money and leave? Or let me chase you all over the place? And she opened her coat. She works out. She opened her coat and she lifted up her shirt. She's like, you see this? You can't beat me. You can't outrun me. So let's go. He's like, damn, this bitch can probably smoke me. She's not very good at cardio like that. So the kid probably could have smoked her. But she works out and you can tell that's how she kind of get her frustrations out. And the kid got punked. He gave, they did the exchange, give the kid his money and whatnot. So she went back to the bus. She left. She didn't go back to the bus stop. She just left. And she's thinking about what she should do. And she noticed she just took $1,000 from this guy, took everything he got, and left him a note and said, I robbed your seller. Stop selling around this block or I'm coming for you. Even though she didn't left that, it's just that she left it because she can sense the guy that was selling. Like I say, she could sense people's intention and malice. She could sense that he's not bad and he's not stupid either. He has better option and he can choose better choices. And she did that because she didn't want him to get killed by his supplier or whomever give him those weeds. Especially sometimes people get stuff off credit trying to sell them. Now she saw how much money she got off of him. She's like, I need to leave the state. I know where I can go to. She need a fresh start. So she know where an area where this same people or who's selling shit is at. Late at night around 12, came knocking on the door. They kind of came and opened the door. It had like those, old houses that has the bars on the fucking door. She grabbed it. She's like, you gonna open this shit? I'm here to rob all of you motherfuckers. They're like, what the? And the dude was about to pull his gun out. She pulled the door and ripped it off I'm talking about like, when I mean ripped it, like fucking Superman. Pull that shit out. And moment when she pulled it, it's like she grabbed him with the door. He wasn't holding the door. Remember, she started getting used to her psychic abilities, and she grabbed the door, grabbed him with the door, pulled both of them out, and tossed them way out to the street. And he rolls a couple times, hit a fucking pole, and was knocked out. People started shooting inside the house and everything. Should I keep going and say more? Of course, when she ran out the house caught on fire, broke. You heard one of them was screaming, "No, no, please, please, not the money, not the money." The fucking safe got thrown out of a fucking window. She didn't even, she ignored them, jumped out the safe, rip it open, grab all the money out, and dip. And that's how she, of course, just to let you guys know, she did have a blindfold on. She didn't have it on at first when she knocked on the door, due to the fact that she didn't want the guy to, just open the door and start spraying, because they do look, especially if they got stuff like that going inside the house. They do fucking pay attention and look. And when she walked into the house, though, she had a whole beanie on and robbed them. And that's how she got to New York, got her a little space and everything. Now, while she's in New York, she's walking down a strip and everything. Taxi, cars is passing by. She's just in the zone, thinking of the past, of how while she was trying to get her abilities right and everything, how she was like, you know what, I think if it's possible, I could just use my dad ability to, end her life and stuff like that. Because, like I said, a lot of shit happened and she was confused. She wasn't sure. And she was just lonely and by herself and just angry at the whole world. And she was really thinking about ending it and everything. And even when she's walking, she's in her mind thinking about that. And she's also thinking of when she was by the bus stop, that little boy and whatnot. And then that suicidal thought transmit into anger. Now, what she's after is to hurt those kind of people, like hardcore drug dealers. And the kind of a good thing is she can sense who is truly, who's sincere, who's honest, who's actually doing the drug life, because either two things, like they were forced to get into that shit, or I'm sorry, I feel like my camera's a little way off right here. Yeah. So it's a good thing. Like I said, she really can sense who's sincere and who's not, because it's either two things. Some people, they fucking get in the fucking drug life, kind of like I did at one point. Side note, because I needed money for some stuff, so some of us had certain lifestyle, and sometimes you can't get out of it, even though you're trying, and whoever is on top of you, if you owe them, that is the best for them, because they own your ass. They fucking own you. Thank God I was never in that kind of situation. So, she is thinking about that and everything, and that suicidal thought about ending her life and everything turns into anger, and she's going to New York, where she believes this is where all these motherfuckers really are, to hurt as much motherfucker as she can. And as she's in her mind like that, she's walking. So a guy bumped into her. And he turned around, white gentleman, innocent as possible, say brown hair or black hair or something, like, and very innocent dude. Like, when you look at him, you like, motherfucker look like a bitch. Just innocent dude and really nice. And when she turned around, he's apologized. Oh, I'm so sorry. My bad, that I bumped into you like that. I'm just late for, So yeah, he's sitting there apologizing, and he had two big old bags in his hands, and the bags look like they have, because they were white bags, kind of can tell. They had like bread in them, like apples, basically some fruits, and some cans of food and stuff. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. The new shelter that opens around the corner just opened, and they're giving some food out, and I'm late to bring mine over and everything." And he's like, if you want, you could come through. I'll be serving some good food, and trust me, it is really good food. I made it. I gave the recipe and everything. And she's sitting there looking at this guy. She's like, "Nigga, you just bumped into me, or you trying to invite me to get some?" She's like, I'll think about it. And he told her the address and everything and stuff like that. And he had some food, and then he had the bags and whatnot, and he's like, okay, no problem, all right, thank you. He's like, I'm sorry, but for real, come by. And he ran off. And she's like, ugh, whatever. And as she kept walking, of course, now her senses is going by, is kind of opening again. And as the dude, first of all, as the dude was walking away, she sensed him. And she's like, poor guy. And as she's turning, now this is what she thought to herself. He's a really, really genuine guy. He'll make a woman a happy, happy ass woman for sure. Hopefully he doesn't get taken advantage of, because he can feel how sincere and genuine he was about going to give people some free food. You know, she's like, at least some people like that exist. As she's going, she opened her senses again. She felt him, because she's still sensing him walking off. She felt his, I would say, like, it's kind of, to her, it's a feeling. She felt him getting, which she never felt before, like someone being panicked or in stress and stuff like that. To her, that's what it felt like. But what he was expressing was concern and worried. It wasn't panic or stress and stuff like that, because that's the only time she felt it, is when she's attacking those thugs and those thugs and gang members. Because when she's attacking them, I mean, they're stressed, they're panicked, because they getting their ass whooped and they're about to get robbed, they might get killed, because that's the life they're living, you know. So she associated that same feeling with what he felt. And since she knew that this is a really good guy, she's like, oh crap, did he just get himself in trouble? What? He was just fine. What's going on? So she kind of ran back to see, sorry, my neck, to see what's up with this motherfucker. So she ran back, and there was an alley. She kind of popped up by the alley. The bags of food was like right there in the corner by the alley. And he's approaching these guys. Hey, leave him alone. Leave him alone. You guys okay? What's going on? And then one of the guys pull out their knives. Oh, yeah? You think you're going to do something, white boy? Run this shit. Run it. He's like, what? Run? Why do I need to run? I know you have a knife. Do you want me to run? And the guys was like, you run, I'm gonna kill you. So which one is it? Do you want me to run or stay? You said if I run, you'll kill me, but you said to run. He's like, run your pockets. My pockets, run them, but they can't run. What were you talking about? Now, there's a whole back and forth going on, because he's not sure, what do you mean by run? He's like, do you want him? Can I run with him though? Because it looked like, because two guys was basically, it was one of their friends. They were fucking with him. And from the side, it looked like two guys was ganging up on one person or be beating him up or bullying him or something like that. That's what it looked like. All of them was the same crew, you know, thieves, robbing people pocket, maybe, breaking people's cars, type of shit. These were kind of guys. As she's looking down, she's like, my God, with this guy. Does he understand he's getting robbed right now? And then the guys was like, pull your wallet out. And he's like, oh, my wallet. You need my wallet. Okay, no problem. Here you go. What's up? And he's like, I appreciate it. Thank you. Now get the fuck out of here. He's like, wait, what about my wallet though? What? Like, he's like, but you got my wallet though. Yeah. And it's mine now. He's like, really? Oh, you want the wallet? Oh, that's totally fine. Can I have my credit card in it? Can I have my credit card and money though? So now he's asking for his credit card and money, and the guy's like, what? No, all of that belonged to me. He's like, okay. Wow, that is weird, but you can have all that. Can I have my ID? I mean, you can't have you're not white, so what? Are you racist, boy? He's like, well, the ID has my face on it, unless, you can't. He's like, oh, nah, I could take your name and everything and all that shit. He's like, my name is Ryan Josh. They're like, what? Got two front. Hey man, give this motherfucker his ID back. Matter of fact, let's just just give him his ID back. Oh, thank you. So can I at least have my credit card too, like, or at least just one of them? I got multiple in there. You could have the rest. I just need one so I could maybe catch a cab later or something. You could keep the money too. He's like, what? Bruh, can get the fuck out of here. We keeping everything. They're about to run and walk off. He's like, hey, excuse me, can I at least have like $5? No, that's all mine. And one of them was like, man, how many credit cards you got? And he like 4. And one of them throw one of the credit cards back or whatever. That was his debit card. Thank God. He's like, poof. He looked at it. He's like, they're stupid. I got the debit card. So I'm going to go cancel all these. And as the guys walked off and everything. And he was trying to help the other guy off the ground. He's like, man, get the fuck off me. You just got robbed, nigga. And then the other guys called their friend back. Hey, you coming? Let's go, nigga. And he left, went with him. Of course, he came back, picked up his bag. The girl was right there. And he's like, hey, how you doing? Thank you for watching my stuff for me. She's like, no, I wasn't watching them. I was thinking of taking them. Oh, did you want some food too? She's like, and then she sensed them. He is genuine about it. Like, it's not like he's being sarcastic or anything. She genuinely looked at her and says, oh, you want some food too? Here's some food if you're hungry. That's his thought process. It wasn't like he wasn't being sarcastic or anything. That's what? She's like, no, I was thinking of stealing your stuff. Oh, stealing them. Well, then that means you wanted some food. It's just food. If you want some food, you could have some food. Matter of fact, if you want, you could come eat with us. She's like, no, okay. I just thought you were about to get killed and I thought I might have come help. He's like, oh, that is so nice of you. Oh, nah. He's like, it's okay. These guys just wanted some money, so I just gave them my wallet. They wanted the wallet. Deep down inside in his face, you can see the expression. He genuinely thought that. He's like, they just wanted some money because they're hungry and they need money. But for safety, he's going to go cancel the credit cards. She's like, oh, I can't believe a human like you actually exists. He's like, I'm not sure if I should take that as, is that a compliment? In this day and age, and being in New York City, in this alley that you're in, no, it's not a compliment. But if you're in a suburb, it's a beautiful compliment. That sounds like, and she just started walking away. Well, thank you for watching my stuff. My name is Ryan. You can always come back, get some food, you know. She just walked off. All right, cool. Now, when he walked off, some stuff started happening and stuff like when she walked off. She, of course, needed some money to pay for rent, whatever. You already know what she did. Fucking ski mask on and shit. Go rob some gang crew or something like that for some money. And she told him, I'll be back again for some more. So make sure you have a stack ready for me or stop selling drugs. And walked off. Heard a shit ton of them and everything too. And as she was walking off, she's passing by this neighborhood and stuff like that. This random house, it's not a big building, whatever. It was under construction, and some debris fell off. And as she's walking, it's kind of like the sidewalk, whatever, in front of her. They fell off, and across the street, he saw the same dude, Ryan, running across the street. Oh my God, I'm coming there. Oh my God. He ran into the, kind of crumbling building or whatever. She's like, what's wrong with this guy? And she walked pretty quickly to, like I told you, her senses is she can feel what's going on. Even if she's not there, she could kind of feel she could sense the vibration in the air, the flow of the air, them talking and everything. She could feel all those vibrations that's going on. If she needs to assist, she'll run in and help him out so that he wouldn't die. She doesn't really care about nobody else. She just, for some reason, just how sincere he is, she doesn't really want him to die because, I mean, all of us was not really good human beings. Side note, like when we meet genuine motherfuckers, we kind of don't really want nothing to happen to them because the world need more people like them, you know. So that's the same thing she was thinking about. So she's standing by the outside where the little gate is, whatever. There's some piles, the debris that fell on the gate. So the gate is pretty much crushed. It's like a fence, not a gate, but a fence. The fence is kind of crushed where if people decided to walk over that, you can easily and stuff like that. And then he's coming out with a dude on his shoulder and lay him out on the floor right there. His leg got fucked up. One of the debris, I guess, caught his leg. And she looked. It's that same dude that robbed his ass a couple days ago. He went back in again. He's like, "Is your friends in there? Is your friends in there?" And he's like, yeah, my friend's in there. And he named them. He called their names out and shit like that. He ran back in. And he's coming back out again with two more dudes on his shoulder. And he brought them out. He's like, "Hey, you guys okay? You guys okay?" And as he's patting them down and everything, they're coughing. There's plenty of dust. Like, "Yeah, we good. He's like, I had $400. I had $500 in my wallet. How come you guys didn't, I don't know, go rent you someplace to stay instead of being in there? What's going on?" or something like that. They're like, What are you talking about?" It's like, "Oh, you guys took my wallet the other day." And they're like, "Oh, here you go." The other one of the dudes hand him his wallet. "Appreciate it, bro." The wallet's empty. There's nothing in it. He grabbed it, flipped it, put it back in his pocket. So now she was there, just looked at him, whatever, and she moved on. She left. As she was leaving, Ryan saw him. He's like, "Hey, excuse me, miss. You didn't get hurt, did you? Oh, that's it. It's you. How you doing?" Hand his hand out. She shook his hand and everything. She's like, "What's your name?" "I'm Justine. You can just call me Jess." "Oh, Jess. All right, cool. This is a weird circumstances again that we meet. And do you want to stay in touch somehow?" Something like that. She's like, she's kind of hesitant about it. He's like, "Well, okay, fine. If you don't want a phone number, if we want, we could exchange Snapchat or something like that." And they exchange little social media stuff and everything. And she's like, "Yeah, fine. You can have my number." And they exchange number and social media as well. Okay, cool. So they left, went their separate ways. Now, a couple of days more passed, whatnot. She ended up going to Miami now. Now, remember, the anger kept building up. She's been lonely for a good amount of time. It just kept building up. And as she saw New York City, all that stuff was happening and stuff like that. Side note, by the way, that building that fell, that was her who caused it. She was trying to actually kill these motherfuckers because she can tell they were not good people. And one of them killed two people already, and the other one raped somebody. So she wasn't having it. She actually, from afar, kind of caused it and trying to fucking... But they didn't die, mostly because he went in there and she didn't want nothing to happen to him. And she approached even closer to make sure that he was all right because the building was very unstable after that. She decided to leave New York after beating up a couple of motherfuckers or whatever. She left New York. She went to Miami. She's sitting at the beach just chilling and stuff like that. And it was like around September and stuff. And she's just chilling or whatever. She's like, listening to Democrats and basically the world fighting against one another. She's like, "You know what? I'm curious," because now she started wanting God to say something to her, to address her. Why is she the way she is? Why is she the only one that is like that? Why, blah, blah. Literally, she pushed the entire water of the ocean back. She's about to create a tsunami. Miami is about to be drowned the fuck out. The water just literally rescinded. Everyone in the beach is like, "What the fuck?" People started screaming, a tsunami's coming, a tsunami's coming, run, 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 run. And people started trying to book it and stuff like that. And then, blip, blip, a notification popped up on her phone. Snapchat. The only person Snapchat he ever checked is Ryan's Snapchat. That's it. Ryan's Snapchat, Ryan's Instagram. That's it. She's curious about him. He's always helping somebody somewhere, either throughout a hurricane, or he was in New Orleans a couple of years back before she got to Miami. He was helping out, like, with the hurricane down there, and he was helping homeless shelters. He was helping genuine people. And of course, a couple of times he posts, well, I just got robbed for the third time and stuff like that, and blah, blah. Every time he said he just got robbed, he always said the third time. He always says the third time. I just got robbed for the third time, but, it's okay. The guys needed some money, so I just gave him some money. Thank God they let me keep my credit card all the time for some reason. It's weird. The guys always give him one of his credit cards back, so he at least have something, but that's how genuine and thingy he is. So she fucking pushed the whole water back. Now Miami's about to drown. Boop, boop. While she just on the beach, just fucking sitting on a chair, just chilling. Put her hand forward and the water's just gone. She's about to let that shit rip. And boop, boop. He sent her a Snapchat because he know she doesn't have her location, but occasionally they text, and she told him that she was gonna go to Miami. She's like, hey, Jess, are you still in Miami? I just landed. They're having this event for kids out here at this shelter. It wasn't a shelter. It was like a kids hospital and stuff like that. And I'm bringing a lot of stuff so that people could, bring more awareness to certain some sort of sickness for kids and stuff like that. He's about to go help some kids. And she's like, really? You're here? About to go help kids? Huh. Fuck. Sounds like his ass. Now, she let the water go. Now, the tsunami is kind of coming, but it didn't go far enough to actually make much damage. Now, when the water came, it basically was imagine some people who've been to the beach or whatever. If you haven't been to the beach, even the lake or something like that, if you've seen the movie, TV show, whatever, the beach, when the waves come, as you put your legs in the water, whatever, that's kind of how it was. Except imagine that wave cover a whole parking lot and stuff like that, and the whole streets and stuff like that. So nobody got drowned or anything like that. People's houses didn't really get water and them like that, but most of the street, most of the parking lot, like basically the ocean rise for a little bit and came back down. She made sure and slowed that whole thing down. She's like, damn it. Why is he following me? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Okay, cool. And then the hurricane came in Miami. It was in September. When the hurricane came in Miami, she was in it making shit worse. And as she was making shit worse, trying to pretty much destroy lives, he was in the middle of it. And she's like, of course, his location's always on. And she's like, you know what? Let me check where this dumbass is at. This motherfucker was in the eye of the hurricane, where the hurricane is literally at, where she is pretty much, she was on top of a building in Miami, like way the fuck on top, and making that shit worse. And he was like down there next to her in the fucking building. Like, this is the building that she's in, way the fuck on top of the building. And maybe a couple down there, a couple streets down or some shit. He was right there. And she's like, what the? Are you? Man. And she walked over and looking down, pull out her little binoculars and shit. She looking down. She saw his ass helping people pack up their food and she's trying to help someone push their car that got stuck on a pothole or something like that. She's like, what is wrong with this guy? And she hasn't talked to him for at least a month now, really. When she texted him, she just told him, yeah, I'm in Miami and stuff like that, but sorry, I don't have time to like hang out with you if you wanted to have dinner or something like that. He's like, well, it's okay, no problem. And occasionally he sent him some snaps and chats or whatever. She's like, damn it. And she pretty much evaporated, not the whole hurricane, because it was naturally coming anyways. So she decreased it as much as he can and decreased the wind and the rain and whatnot and push some of the water back. She's basically also, she's helping. By her doing that, she also is helping a shit ton of people just because that one guy. Let's move on some more. Now she decided, you know what? Bump this. She's moving further up towards like North Carolina area and stuff like that. And she took a plane. In that same plane, she bumped into him. And when she bumped into him, she's like, oh, hey, what's up? What's going on? It's been a minute since we haven't seen each other. She will start smiling too and everything. She's like, hey, he's like, hey, do you mind if I sit next to you? She's like, well, if there's nobody next to me. And unlucky for her, because she didn't really want to sit with him. Unlucky for her, there wasn't nobody next to her. He ended up sitting next to her and everything, and they started chatting it up and whatnot. And she's getting this guy's vibe more and more and more and more and more. And right when the plan landed and everything, and he straight up just looked at her and be like, Jasleen, I really would like to have a good dinner with you and sit down and take you out on a date. And yes, I do mean that in a romantic way, even though it doesn't seem like you might not look at me like that or whatever. And as she's sitting there and she saw how genuine he was and stuff like that, she's like, how about we just have dinner and then we can worry about the romantic part after. He's like, hey, put his hand up. That's all I ask. Just dinner, you know. So yeah, they moved up towards, you know, flying toward like North Carolina area, Virginia area. So they landed, went their separate ways and stuff like that. Kept in contact, and now, since she knew 100%, he literally says it in front of her. He was interested like that, and of course she's kind of intrigued as well. They started chatting up a little bit more, and that anger that she's been having inside is slowly coming down. And they went to the date, had a really wonderful date and everything. She was laughing and giggling and everything. And right when they were about to walk out or whatever, she's like, hey, look, I read a study where they said that, I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just going to go on a limb and just say it straightforward. And she tilt her head and, you know, give her the look like, okay, let's hear it. He's like, I heard that, you know, within the first 7 seconds or maybe 10 seconds of a woman meeting a man, they could either two things, tell if they want to date him or just sleep with him. Me, when I first met you, I knew that I wanted to date you. So now that we have been on a date, we've even spent a good amount. I would still consider us spending a good amount of time on the airplane, getting to know one another and stuff like that, and knowing a little bit about one another, not much. So would you want to maybe, in her mind, now she got the defensive look, like, this nigga about to ask me, do I want to sleep with him? You know, that was her thing. And he's like, so do you, since we've been spending this time together, I mean, would you want to date? I mean, it would be really nice to, I don't know. I feel like I would want someone like you in my life if you'd want to take me. She was blown because, like I said, you know her history, from part 1, of course. You know her history. She's not, like, she never been around that kind. Like, everybody she met, even dating, it's always, you know, with men, it's always wanting to fuck her, wanting to use her, wanting her to pay for shit or do stuff, whatever. First off, he opened doors for her. He paid. She wanted to pay her half. He's like, hey, no. He stood up and like, nah, it's a date. I'm paying. It's okay. And when they were walking out, when they were walking to the restaurant, held his arm out. And by the way, folks, if you don't notice, if you're young and you don't notice, when you walk out the car, I'm about to stand up to show you. Side note real quick, when you walk out the car with your lady, all right, this is how you do it to be a gentleman. Let me step up real quick. Hold on. Put your hand out, you put your arm out like this, and most of the time, depending whatever side the lady's on, whatever, usually on your left hand side, you put your arm out. She put her arm in, and you guys walk into the restaurant together. All right, gentlemen. All right, that's how you do it. Okay. Now, on a side note, I don't care about whatever. I'm just saying that's how a gentleman does it. Okay. Now, and from what I've experienced, I know that ladies enjoy a man being respectful and being a gentleman, So she never experienced that before. And she's like, and she's shocked, and she was paused for a good minute. He's looking at her like, oh, you gonna answer? She's like, yeah. And she can feel, like, remember as well, it's not just his word for it. She can also sense how genuine he is about what he's saying. So she knows 100% he's legit. He's not, bullshit. She's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind us dating. And they kissed and everything. She enjoyed it. And he's like, first off, at the same time, she was still on guard, waiting for him to be like, you want to come to my hotel or something like that. He was like, all right. It was a really nice date. So and call her a cab. Call her a cab. Sorry, now there's no cabs anymore. But try to call her a Uber or something like that. She's like, this is what, put your address in and whatever, and tell the Uber driver wherever you're gonna go, and he'll take you there and everything. She's like, thank you. He's like, what's up? Why do you look so confused? I'll explain. She's like, why? He's like, why do you look so confused? And in her mind, remember, she's not used to that. She's like, nothing at all. Just you being a genuine gentleman. And I really, really appreciate it. He's like, yeah. It's like, tomorrow, if you're free tomorrow, we can still hang out again. And tomorrow, I think it was a Sunday. She's like, tomorrow, I don't have much to do tomorrow. We can probably go by the beach or something like that and enjoy it. And so that anger started really, really coming down. Now, let's go back upstairs real quick. Upstairs, God's son was watching for a good minute. And God walked up. God's like, hey, son, what's going on? You've been at this for a couple years now. Why you a couple days now? And days, like I just said, a couple years for us, days for them. He's like, couple days now. What's up? He's like, Dad, I see what you did. That is nice. He's like, oh, you following? He's like, but Godson's like, I don't understand, Father. It looks like she's not really trying to destroy people anymore. She really wanted you to come down, Father. But I'm curious, what was she gonna say to you? Well, most likely probably try to take her anger out of me because she blamed me for her loneliness and all that good stuff. But those things, she needed them so that she could learn. She could be stronger. And he's like, another thing too, Father, since you made that mistake, why didn't you just get rid of her while she was a baby? He's like, and then that's when God was like, well, son, seems like you miss several big things that she did. And because of what she did And she pointed out a couple people that didn't die on the hurricane, that didn't die from the tsunami. And in actuality, there wasn't, the tsunami was supposed to be bigger because in the middle of ocean by Miami, there was an earthquake that happened in the water at that same time. So she's at that same time that happened, and God was pointing all these things out, and God was pointing out people that was gonna die from those tsunamis and from that hurricane and all of that stuff. She helped. And in New Orleans, when he was in New Orleans helping out and everything, she was in New Orleans as well. She didn't cause it, but she ended up pushing some of the water back because he was in New Orleans. They didn't get to see each other in New Orleans, even though they knew they were, both of them was in New Orleans, because of course they got social media. God is pointing all these things out to his son. Oh, I see. Wow. So what about her anger? What about her anger? Are you basing it off of love to calm it down? God's like, yes. The moment humans were never meant to be alone. That is not something, even though there's a lot of them who decided to be alone, they become very depressed, and their anger, a lot of time they take it out on others or in a specific way so that someone else can take them out because they're too afraid to take themselves out. Because, well, I did put this thing in fear inside of them, and humanity is pretty scared of dying. So a lot of time, that's what will happen. And I could not let her go through that, because if she did go through that, she would end up destroying a lot of lives before they would be able to like knock her out with some sort, with a missile, and then eventually actually taking her out. It would have taken too long and too much lives. And the world would change forever from knowing about her existence. And a lot of people, even more people would suffer, because when humanity bump into something they don't understand, they try to study it, which would mean taking kids, study them, and do experiment. I'm sure you've seen what happened in Germany with the guy with the tiny mustache right here. If you don't know the history, side note, Hitler. Anyways, that's what he was telling his son. His son's like, oh, okay, God. Oh, all right, Father, I understand. Now, back to planet Earth. Things are starting to work out for her. She's changing her life around. She went back to school. And, of course, they ended up getting even closer and everything. They eventually got married. Because of that, of course, she eventually came out and told him about her ability and how much she's kind of been helping a little bit and what her anger was and everything. And of course, when you get into that kind of union, you ended up becoming very, very close to everyone. Not everyone, but your partner. And communication is a big fact. It's a big factor and stuff like that. And they ended up getting married and everything, and their future is looking very bright. And she ended up becoming a pretty good person, helping out people left and right and stuff like that. Side note, guys, now we're done with this story. Is pretty much ending right here. This was it. Let me know what you think about it. My main thing from this story was that a lot of time we are born in a certain situation and we get very, very, very angry at the world, at God itself. A message that I want to pass out to some of us who is like that, who feels like we need to take that anger out on others. This is going to be really cold from this moment on. So please, if you are done, if the story's done right now, I'm just going to be talking about some other stuff. So if you don't want to hear this rest, please log out right now and stop listening. Okay. This message is for some of the folks who is very angry at the world and who feels like they need to take it out on others. I'm going to be 1000% with you. You taking your anger out someone else will change nothing. Don't mean to be rude. Don't mean to be mean. Like, let's be logical with it. Nothing's gonna change. Clock, my watch, tomorrow is still gonna come. 10 seconds is still gonna pass. 1 minute is still gonna keep going. Whatever friend that you have that didn't talk to you or didn't show you love, or this girl who blocked you or whatever, guess what? She's still gonna be fucking some other nigga. Or this dude that blocked you, that didn't do this, that didn't. Nothing will change by you taking that anger out on somebody else. By you walking into a building decided that everyone should perish. Okay? That energy, if you can find a different way, just a different way to pinpoint it, just pinpoint it a different way to benefit you. Fuck everybody else. I agree with your pain. I agree with it. I understand it. You right to be angry. The world is fucked up. People is shitty. I agree with you. But if you can decide to yourself to say, you know what? Fuck all of them. Let me see if I could use all of them to make me more money, to make me better. If that's what works for you, do it. Because going through that, I went through that for a little bit. Going through that, you will find a better path. Might sound cheesy and blah blah. No. Not just a better path, but you will also find how beneficial it is to you and to anybody else that comes around you. And then also too, you will even learn how to cut off the fuckboys, the dipshits, the assholes, the users, the one that's coming around. Hey, it was good, man. Yeah, man, I got your bag, bro. I'm good. I'm down. You will see through these motherfuckers. Okay? Taking your anger out on anyone or anyone, another human being, fuck up his day or destroying their life to make their mom, their dad, their cousin, their aunties miss them, or them being missed by others. For you, for your world, nothing will change. Nothing will change. But if you want a change to happen, you have to do it. You have to pay attention to what's happening around you and take all this shit and use them for your benefit. Fuck the world. Fuck everybody else. All right? Now, guys, if you actually managed to stay this far, I really, really appreciate you. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like it. Matter of fact, if you stayed this long, no fucking way you didn't like this joint. So go ahead and give a brother a thumbs up. You know what I mean? Hit that subscribe button, the ding button as well. And also, too, folks, don't give me a thumbs up if you don't like it. If you don't like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. Comment down below. Tell me what you didn't like, because I appreciate that, all right? I was born in 88. Like, I mean, I got bullied a shit ton of times. I'm a little more hard-skinned than some internet motherfucker, okay? If you don't like it, don't give me a thumbs up. I won't appreciate that. It won't do me any good for just giving me a thumbs up just cuz, okay? Don't give me a thumbs up if you don't like this joint. And I'm going to start saying that on my joint. Don't give me a thumbs up if you don't like it. Give me a thumbs down, or don't give me a thumbs at all, all right? Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. I can't believe this one's this long. I'm surprised. I really, really hope you guys enjoy this one. Thank you very much. Oh, my next one is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be posting it tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm going to be thinking about it, maybe next week. I have another story in mind. And guys, this story is going to be awesome. Keep in touch. Hit the ding button. You guys have a good one. All right. Bye.